Alright, how's it going everyone? Today I'm going to teach you how to tie my BDG Chironomid, aka the blue dun and gold. The hook that I have in the vise is, as per usual, Daiichi 1760 in a size 14. The bead that I have on it is a black 5/64 bead, if I'm correct. The thread that I'll be using is UTC Ultra Thread 70 in blue dun. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move that bead back and put on a few wraps. Then you want to cut your excess free. And then you're going to grab your white Antron or uni stretch for your gills. And just do like 3 wraps to tie it in. That was 4. And I'm going to first like get that in the right spot. Then I'm going to cut the excess. And I'm going to put a whip finish in front of the gills. Just going to make sure that's tight before I cut my thread off and move my bead up. And you can cut the Antron now, you can cut it later. I'm just going to tie my thread back in. Okay, that is on the right way. And now I'm going to cut my Antron. And you want your thread to be as flat as possible. And what you're going to grab next is I'm using small gold UTC Ultra wire. You could also tie the same kind of blue dun Chironomid with black wire, red wire, wine wire. Gold is just the one that I've found works best. I'm just going to want to give it a counterclockwise spin every once in a while just to flatten out your thread. You can see how like flat it is when I get that little shine there. And you just want to wrap back up to behind the bead. Then give your bobbin a counterclockwise spin. Now we're going to start building up the taper. So I'm going to tie backwards. Not all the way this time, and then tie back up to behind the bead. Gonna give my thread another little spin. Then tie back, but not as far as last time. Then tie back up. Then yet again another little spin there. And I think you guys kind of get the gist of it now. I'm gonna tie backwards, but not as far, and then tie back up towards the bead. Counterclockwise spin again. backwards, but not as far. Back to the bead, and then you can kind of just get your taper how you want it. I kept it pretty smooth there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gold wire, and you could just wrap it regularly, or you can counter wrap it, which is what I'm going to do. And I would kind of spread the wraps further out the further you go up the shank. And you're gonna want to tie that in right behind the bead. And you could add some sort of thorax, whether that be like another material such as pheasant tail or just another colored thread, kind of like what I did on the gray money. This does look similar to the gray money, so that's why I'm only tying this in the BDG version. Because the gray money, it's got a bit of a darker body, and I use wine rib for that. You could tie the BDW, which is blue dun and wine. So this, but with wine wire. But the gray money looks similar enough for me that I use that for my darker ribbed grayish Chironomid. And a good size for this, I'm just going to throw in a little 3-turn whip finish. If I can get my thread. A good size like hook for this is anywhere from up to a 10 down to an 18. 10 is on the big side. Like I've got 12s. I'm doing a set right now, so that's going to be, I have 2 12s, 4 14s, 2 16s, and 4 18s, just because also the amount of hooks that I have. But now that you've got that tied off, you're going to want to take a good amount of UV resin. Be very generous with this. I'll show you why we're going to be so generous in a second. So way too much UV resin for the Chironomid. Then you're going to grab your bodkin, and you just want to just spread it out along the body. Then you're going to take a piece of tissue paper or Kleenex or whatever you want to use, and you're just going to give it a good dab. This also makes the fly a little bit more textured. Then you're going to take your UV light and cure it. So that's going to take a minute. Although with a small amount of UV resin like this, it does clear up or cure up quicker, which is nice. I didn't really do the best for wraps on this one. I did all right. And once you have that done, there you go, guys. That is how you tie my blue dun, or my BDG, aka the blue dun and gold Chironomid. Fish on.